Let's face it, TVs are smarter than ever, but they don't always come with the best streaming experience built in. Whether you're trying to turn an old set into a modern entertainment hub, or just want smoother performance with better resolution and more app options, a good streaming device can totally change the way you watch. From casual binge watching to full-on home theater setups, today I'm walking you through 9 of the best streaming devices out there right now. And if anything here sounds like your kind of upgrade, all the links are down in the description so you can check them out in more detail or grab one for yourself. Kicking things off with a solid crowd favorite, the Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K Max. This one's been upgraded to support Wi-Fi 6E, which means faster and more stable streaming even in busy households. It handles 4K Ultra HD, Dolby Vision, HDR, and Dolby Atmos, so you're getting some seriously high-quality visuals and audio if your TV and speakers can keep up. What's cool is that the interface is snappy, and Alexa voice control makes searching easy. No more typing titles letter by letter. It's compact and plugs straight into your HDMI port, which is great for clutter-free setups. A friend of mine who lives in a smaller apartment switched from an older Fire Stick to this Max version and immediately noticed the difference in both speed and video quality. That said, the Fire TV interface can push Amazon content pretty aggressively, so if you prefer a more neutral layout, that's something to keep in mind. Next up is the NVIDIA Shield Android TV Pro, which is basically the Rolls-Royce of streaming devices. This thing does everything: 4K HDR, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, AI-enhanced upscaling, Google Assistant, GeForce Now game streaming, you name it. It's powered by the Tegra X1 Plus processor, so it's lightning fast and the experience is ultra smooth. For anyone into home theater setups or gaming, this is hands down one of the most powerful and versatile options out there. It even works as a Plex media server if you've got a library of local content. One downside? It's not cheap. And honestly, for basic streaming, it might be overkill. But if you're a power user, it's hard to beat. I've used it personally for over a year and it's never once lagged or crashed. It just works flawlessly, even with heavy use. Sliding into the lineup next is the Google TV Streamer 4K, which blends simplicity and smart design really well. It supports 4K HDR, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos, and the remote is clean and minimal with a dedicated Google Assistant button. What stands out here is the Google TV interface. It learns your preferences over time and gives you personalized recommendations across multiple apps, not just one. It's perfect for anyone in the Google ecosystem who wants tight integration with their smart home or Android phone. One user I talked to said they loved how easy it was to find new content without jumping app to app, but they did mention that the device can get a little warm with prolonged use. Still, for the price and features, it's a solid pick for most households. Let's talk about the Roku Ultra, which is another top-tier option but with a slightly different flavor. Roku is known for its neutral, straightforward interface that doesn't push content from a specific brand, and the Ultra model adds a bunch of premium features like support for 4K, HDR10+, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, and a rechargeable voice remote with customizable shortcut buttons. It also has an Ethernet port, which is a big deal for those who want the most reliable connection possible. What I appreciate about Roku is its simplicity. It just gets out of the way and lets you stream. My cousin, who isn't super tech savvy, got one and set it up without needing to call me once. That's a win in my book. On the flip side, the remote can feel a bit bulky compared to sleeker alternatives, and the lack of deep smart home integration might be a con for some. Then we've got the Apple TV 4K, which is now in its 3rd generation. Apple does what Apple does best: slick performance, beautiful UI, and seamless integration with all things iOS. The latest version comes with the A15 Bionic chip, which makes everything snappy, and the remote now has a USB-C charging port instead of Lightning, which is long overdue. If you're already in the Apple ecosystem, this is a no-brainer. You can AirPlay from your iPhone, use Siri for voice search, and even tie it in with your HomeKit smart devices. One of my friends is all in on Apple gear and swears by the Apple TV for its ease of use and consistent updates. It is on the pricier side though, and if you're not using other Apple products, you might not get the full benefit. Now let's shift gears to a budget-friendly option that still packs a punch: the Xiaomi Mi TV Box S. It runs on Android TV, supports 4K HDR, and has Google Assistant built in, plus Chromecast support. This little box has dual-band Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5.2. and it's easy to navigate for first-time users. It's ideal for casual streamers or folks who don't need the absolute latest specs. A buddy of mine uses one in his guest room, and while it's not as fast as the Nvidia Shield, it does the job with no major complaints. The downside is that it occasionally lags when switching apps or loading higher resolution content, especially with limited RAM, but at this price point, that's kind of expected. If you want something a little more high-end but still Alexa-friendly, the Amazon Fire TV Cube is worth a look. Think of it as a hybrid between a streaming device and a smart speaker. It's hands-free with Alexa built in, supports 4K Ultra HD, Dolby Vision, HDR, and Wi-Fi 6E. The Cube is faster than the Fire Stick thanks to its hexa-core processor, and it can even control other home theater gear with its IR blaster. It's great if you like using voice commands for everything and don't want to pick up a remote. I tried one out in a family room setup and really liked how responsive it was. Plus, the sound pickup for voice commands was impressive even with the TV on. Just keep in mind that it takes up more space and needs to sit visibly in the room for voice features to work properly. Back to Roku with the Streaming Stick 4K, this is basically the portable version of the Ultra. It plugs right into your HDMI port and offers 4K, HDR, Dolby Vision, and a voice remote. It's perfect for travel, dorms, or secondary TVs where you still want solid performance without the bells and whistles. The setup is super easy, and Roku's platform continues to be one of the most user-friendly around. One friend of mine keeps one in his suitcase for hotel stays and says it's been a game changer when it comes to avoiding clunky hotel remotes. The only downside is that the Wi-Fi only connection can struggle if your router isn't close by, so that's something to consider for larger homes. And finally, the Xiaomi Mi TV Stick rounds out the list as the most compact and travel-friendly option here. It supports 4K HDR, runs Android TV 11, and includes Chromecast and Google Assistant integration. It's incredibly portable, basically the size of a USB flash drive, and it's great for anyone who wants smart streaming in a plug-and-play format. I gave one of these to my parents to use in their bedroom, and they've been enjoying it for its simplicity. The main limitation is its hardware. Don't expect lightning-fast performance or high-end specs, but for basic streaming needs, it works just fine. So, which one is right for you? If you're all about performance and want the most powerful experience, the Nvidia Shield TV Pro and Apple TV 4K are top of the food chain, great for home theaters, gamers, or Apple users. For more affordable but still solid options, the Fire TV Stick 4K Max, Roku Streaming Stick 4K, and Xiaomi Mi TV Stick are great choices that won't break the bank. If you're somewhere in the middle or want something with hands-free voice control, the Fire TV Cube or Roku Ultra are smart picks. And for Android lovers looking for a full interface without spending big, the Google TV Streamer 4K and Xiaomi Mi TV Box S are solid bets. Think about what matters most to you. Do you want speed and premium audiovisual features, or just an easy way to get Netflix and YouTube on your screen? Are you deep into one ecosystem like Apple or Google, or do you prefer something more neutral like Roku? And do you want something you can toss in a travel bag, or are you building the core of a home theater setup? Hopefully this rundown helped make things a little clearer. As always, links to every device mentioned are in the description below if you want to learn more or pick one up. Thanks for watching and happy streaming!